top producers are in the routine of determining when they're going to stop for the day. That time that it takes to do something expands when you don't have specific blocks of time to get it done.
That's something that's got to be a must for a daily routine if you want to even have a chance of some sort of production.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Level Up Podcast with myself, Greg Harrelson. This is where I focus on taking you from agent to entrepreneur. As you know, I have a passion for developing agents. And on today's episode, I'm going to share another quick strategy on how you can increase your production. I'm going to be real, so you be ready. Let's level up.
Hey everybody, it's Greg Harrelson here with my co-pilot Abe Safa, and we're going to talk about daily routines. I would imagine that all of us would be interested in knowing what is the daily routine of top producers? What are they actually doing? What are they doing that they really don't tell everybody they're doing? You know, things like that. So that's the discussion Abe and I have had. We're going to continue having. We're going to do it live right in front of you here on YouTube. And then, of course, we're going to be airing this on the Level Up podcast. So please like, subscribe, do all those things. It sure does help us build our channel and make sure that you get alerts whenever we drop more content. So welcome, Abe. Thanks for being here again.
Yeah, Greg, my pleasure. Another week.
Yep. So we have been around a lot of top producers. I guess if we were to talk about ourselves, we would probably be in the category of top producers. We'll let other people judge that. But I think we've got a good grasp of like all around the country, these agents are doing, what we do, what are agents doing that's reaching high levels, and what do they do consistently? But when you think of a top producer in a daily routine, what's the first activity that comes to your mind?
Yeah, let me add something else. So yeah, when we see a lot of top producers and we see like the common denominator between all of them, but don't forget, we also see a lot of people that are struggling and they also have a common denominator that they go through. And it's interesting how like it's the complete opposite spectrum of what the top producers do is what they do on a regular basis. I just want to kind of throw that out there. Because
no, that's a good point. So we get to see the contrast between the two. What's working and what's not working. Well, what are people doing that is working, and what are people doing that's not working, and maybe causing them not to kind of get to the top producer status?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is automatically I want to go to, okay, well, this is what we do in the morning. But I was kind of thinking about this. The daily routine doesn't work properly unless you prepare for it in advance, right? So to me, the daily routine of a top producer starts the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know you and I are big believers, especially on a Sunday, because I know you texted me on Sunday evening, like you're already thinking what Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday is going to look like. So the night before, setting up, number one, recapping how your day went, right? Kind of just quickly go through the mind of what went well, what went wrong, what you could do to improve and things like that. Just kind of put some closure on a day and kind of be done with it, because the next day we're going to start at zero, like we mentioned all the time. But just kind of having some sort of plan before the next day starts. So I think it starts there. It could be as advanced as knowing exactly who to call, which lead sources you're going to call, in what order, what lead progression is it going to be, things like that. But having a good, clear idea what your next morning is going to look like, I think it starts there.
Yeah, one of the things that comes to my mind is top producers. They're very good. It's kind of like a routine. They're in the routine of prioritizing their activities. So, it's easy to, like you said, it's easy to just kind of go right into the morning schedule and say, you've got a prospect from 8 until 11. Hey, of course we're going to say that because that is what top producers are doing. But there's other things that they're doing on routine that I think is very overlooked. Okay. So one that you just said, I agree. Preparing the night before. That's something that you just don't hear a lot of. People may say that from time to time, but that is one of those things that's very, very important, is the preparation the night before. Another one that I have here is prioritization. Like every morning, before 8 o'clock. It's usually like 7:50. And I even got it here, like this little scratch piece of paper. And it's as simple, I just take this little scratch paper and I write down the things that the people I must talk to today, and the few things that I must do today. And most of these things are really around the building of the business side. Like right here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 leads, seller leads that I had to talk to, or at least make an attempt to talk to. If I didn't get them on the phone, I was going to text them. I'm going to email them. There was 4. Like in everything that I did this morning around lead generation, those were 4 people that definitely had to be included because they were low-hanging fruit. And then I have a few other agents that I need to talk to and whatnot. I'm prioritizing my day, and I'm thinking about it right there in the morning to make sure that if I don't do something, it won't be something that's on this priority list. And I think everyone has their own methods for making sure they get the right things done at the right time. And it's called prioritization.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like that brings to mind a couple of books. Eat the Frog, Brian Tracy. The
Okay.
whole thing, right? So even like if you really wanted to simplify this, like as much as possible, if you showed up every single morning with intention and a plan, and then you did some lead generating, and then even if you just took the one thing, okay, that would have the biggest impact on your business, and just did that one thing that day. I mean, you've won a day already, right? You've got some lead gen and you took the one and did the one thing that's most important to you. And you've obviously got a couple of things on your list that you want to accomplish. But I think you've got to win the morning if you're going to win the day.
Mm-hmm.
I think it starts there. You know, that you don't want to show up to the office and just react all day long, right? You want to wake up and actually execute on what the plan is for that day, execute on what you went over the night before, and not just react. So I think it also has to start there. You know, once you get to the office, you know exactly what to do, when to do it, and slowly have these little wins. You checking them off one by one.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. And determining what a win is, right, for the day.
Absolutely.
And then going for it. You know, another one that I like is top producers are in the routine of determining when they're going to stop for the day. Like I know, I'm clear as day. I know exactly what time I'm stopping today. And I know exactly what the next activity is when I stop. And what I think is important about that is now I've just kind of like, I've set the parameters for my day of I've got to get all these things that I say I need to get done, and I got to get them done within these rails. Okay. And then what happens is the top producer is forced to be way more efficient. They're forced to say no to things that they need to say no to. They're selective at what they say yes to. They make sure that if they're getting, you know, that, or I should say, they are less distracted because they're clear. Like I've got to get all this done, and I'm done at this particular time. So this is my cutoff time to accomplish all of this. And what we know is kind of like traveling. When we know that we've got to get on a plane tomorrow at 6 a.m., and we know exactly when we got to leave the house. So we know when that suitcase has to be packed, zipped up, because we're leaving that house. And we can sit there and wait to the last minute to pack and still get our packing done. And the reason why is because we know what time we are moving. So we time it perfectly to get it all done in that little span of time. It gets done every time. So I think we need to figure out, what time are you stopping today? That's what I see a lot of very effective top producers do on a daily basis.
And that's a really good one. I didn't even think of that one, but obviously we live that way, right? We work and live that way, and we know exactly what time we're stopping. But like I know a lot of people have some resistance when we talk about these things. Well, who wants to be that disciplined? Who wants to have that much structure? I don't want to be tied down to a calendar or a schedule. But like when you do this and you do this at a high level, you start to realize that it's not tying you down, it's actual freedom. It's being in control of your entire day from the moment you wake up until you're done, until you go to sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's power. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. So many agents are just like, they're going to work until they get everything done. And we know, we've been taught that the amount of time that it takes to complete an activity expands to the amount of time that you have to complete an activity. So if you've got all day to get it done, you're going to probably get it done, maybe, but it's going to take you all day before you get it done. If you say, okay, I've got to get this done within the next 10 minutes, you can get it done in the next 10 minutes. So, you got to be careful. That time that it takes to do something expands when you don't have specific blocks of time to get it done. So again, well, when I say I'm going to stop at X amount of time, let's say on Tuesdays, a lot of times we end up, I say usually on Tuesdays, if I'm not traveling, I'm saying I'm going to stop at 4. And the reason I'm going to stop at 4 is not because I like to be that disciplined. No, because we're going to play pickleball at 4:30. It's the opposite. I'm determining when I'm going to stop working so I can determine when I'm going to start living. That's the importance of this. It's the polar opposite of restrictions.
Absolutely. Another thing I want to point out is like time blocking is a big deal, right?
Yes.
And of course, and then you focus your time and energy on those particular things that that you need to do to be productive. And then of course, one of them, I mean, we can't go without talking about lead gen, right? There's got to be some lead generating time. There's got to be a block of time in your calendar, preferably first thing in the morning when you get to the office, where you just lead generate. Mm-hmm. I don't care who you are out there. I don't care what your defense is for lead generation, no matter what you like it, dislike it, whatever. Without lead generation, we have no business, period. So I think that's something that's got to be a must for a daily routine if you want to even have a chance of some sort of production, right? So every single morning, allocate a block of time. You turn off all distractions. Don't do a single thing other than just lead generation during that time.
Yeah. And speaking on blocks of time, one of the things that I thought to mention was maybe a short list of things that must be blocked.
Yeah.
Lead generation must be a block of time. Follow-up must be a block of time, a daily block of time. I'll throw one for a curveball that's not necessarily daily, but it has to be monthly, a block of time for price reductions. Another thing on a daily, there should be a block of time for doing your research of properties for buyers that you're actually working this week. You should have a block of time for research of properties, a block of time for reductions, for lead generation. These are the things. You should have a block of time for exercise. You should have a block of time to fuel the mind. These are the things that top producers are blocking out on a daily basis. Those are the staples. The things that we're talking about with prioritization and some other things that we talk about are things that are just very rarely talked about, but they kind of enhance and complement the top producer who blocks their time wisely. I think that's
absolutely. Those are all great ones. I want to add 2 more blocks of time. One is for skill building.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be working on your skills. I mean, find out what the weakest area you have in your business, whether it's listing presentation, whatever it is, just pick that area, objection handling, whatever it may be, just pick that area and just spend, 30, 45 minutes a week, block out that time where all you do is actually focus on that one area. Can you imagine the improvement you would have over a 2-3 month period?
Yeah.
So that's definitely a thing. And of course, you kind of said something, I think it was last week or the week before, block out some time to just think.
Yeah. Creative thinking time.
Yeah. So many agents just running around all day long, like a cat chasing its tail. Like, can you imagine if you just blocked out a 30-minute session once a week where you actually did nothing but sat there and just thought. Doesn't matter what you think about your whole week, think about your business, think about your lead gen, whatever you want to think about, but just kind of step back, take a deep breath, and just kind of reflect a little bit. And do that on a regular basis and see where that leads you.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's amazing how, after thinking about your business, it's amazing how further you get faster, because we're more effective, we're more efficient. You come up with better ideas. And so we get further faster if we spend more time. I call it creative thinking, mindstorming. It's what I talked about in the summit. Also, it's creative thinking time, where you just take a journal. What's interesting, I know it'll be a little bit blurry, but in front of me right now, where I took notes about having this little conversation, is right in my journal, right here. I've just got it opened up right in front of me right now. So creatively thinking is critical. So that's a lot. So you got blocks of time, you got, the generation side, we got the prioritizing side. There's things out there that can be done. So for those of you that are wondering, what are these top producers doing? That's what they're doing. There's no question about it. And the other thing that really has nothing to do with the daily routine, but it kind of does, is skill building. But it's also, most of them are coached. Very rarely do you see a top producer that is without a coach. So if you're without a coach, maybe you should check out Agent Success Academy. Check out what Abe and I are doing. Look at some of the look at the information that we're providing. We're helping agents. We got agents in there generating 20 plus listings every single month, like clockwork. So take advantage of it. Join Agent Success Academy, or at least check it out and give it a test run. And then continue to watch these little short video tips on a weekly basis. Abe, thanks for being here, and we'll talk in a week.
Enjoy it, Greg. See ya.
All right. Bye, everybody.